Hello, my name is Jennifer Stubbs, pronoun she, hers. I'm a academic librarian in Central Illinois, and my character is Ulara, pronoun she, hers, a half-orc fighter.
Hi, my name is Melanie Griffiths. I'm an information services librarian at the Wellesley Free Library in Massachusetts. And I'm playing Clara the shaman, a human wizard, and pronouns are she, her.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all. So now this event is being held live. However, if you need to leave or you'd like to watch it again, a Twitch video on demand will be accessible right after we end. If you aren't following GameRT on Twitch, Facebook, or Discord already, please follow along so you can join us on all of our exciting ventures. Links for all the places you can find us will be posted in the chat throughout the session. For anyone not previously familiar with GameRT, we are the Games and Gaming Roundtable of the American Library Association. Our mission is to promote gaming in libraries, whether it's programming, collection development, community building, prototyping, playtesting, or research. A quick word about our upcoming events. The biggest one that I want to shout out here is our March mini conference, which is happening on March 29th. Our submission deadline is February 25th, and our theme this year is building character. We welcome papers, presentations on all topics that have to do with character building, whether it's video games, TTRPGs, board games, literary characters you want to adapt into video games or board games or TTRPGs, or even just how you build your own character when you are playing games and playing with other people. Basically, anything's on the table. We would love to have you present for us. And the submission link for the conference is going to be in the chat. Okay? So we're always planning fun, fascinating programming, so keep an eye on our social media and our events page for updates. And if you don't follow us, all those links will be added to the chat as well. That said, it is time to get back to the game. So at this point, I am going to throw it back over to Carl.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining us. Before we get into things, I wanted to take care of a couple of items. First, I want to let everyone in on the adventure that I've used to run this game. It isn't a Shadowdark specific adventure, so it can easily be adapted to other games as well. It's titled The Seer's Sanctum, and it's a system agnostic, old school style puzzle dungeon. It was written by Direct Sun and is available on DriveThru RPG. I've linked it in our resource guide for this game as well. And much like Shadowdark itself, the scenario leaves a lot of room for creativity for a GM and players. Puzzles can be hard to get right in tabletop role-playing games, and I feel like this adventure does a really good job of kind of walking that line. I also want to remind everyone that what we're doing is modeling what running a multi-session game looks like in service to setting up programming at your library. There's plenty of challenges to doing so, including introducing new players to a game. Our table here comes from a variety of experience backgrounds, from long time to brand new players. And Shadowdark is the type of game that I feel is rules light enough that it gets everybody playing quickly rather than kind of sitting and reading a bunch of rules. And you can teach it on the fly. Can slow down the game a bit, but it also means that players don't feel they need to read stacks of books to get started. We're going to try to wrap this play session up in 2 hours and follow that up with a third hour for Q&A and discussion. I'm pretty sure Molly had just addressed that. And with that, I think we're ready to give a little recap and then jump right into the game. My recap is going to be a little bit detailed. And the reason for that is when there's a lot of time between sessions, especially for puzzles where players are uncovering clues, there can be a little bit of a gap in memory of what players may be thinking as they encounter things. So after pushing further into the cave entrance than the adventurers who'd gone before them had made it, our group of crawlers entered and started exploring a strange and somewhat disturbing sanctum. They acquired a mirror with a magical property that enabled them to view things reflected in it as they existed at some point in the past. With this artifact in hand, they found and started exploring several rooms after Rose pulled one of two levers which opened many doors at once and also closed the door that they had entered through. They elected to split up, with Rose and Alara exploring the rooms on one side of a deep water divide and Clara and Bruga investigating the rooms on the other. Clara took the lead, pushing a torch into one of the rooms and immediately noped out upon seeing a sickly greenish glow emanating from the top of a 5-foot wide, 3.5-foot high cylinder that emerged from the floor with chains hanging down above it. In a separate room, Clara and Bruga also discovered a chamber seemingly designed for some sort of torture or surgery, and investigating further, learned it seemed to be designed for a ritual of some sort involving the sewing shut of one's eyes, followed by the emergence of a third eye. Bruga also found a small vial of red liquid in this room. Using the mirror, Clara found a potential passage of some type as she observed a robed and blindfolded individual seeming to be able to push through the far wall of the room, this individual still frozen in time in the mirror. To test a nervous theory, Clara closed her eyes and reached out to the wall and found that it was not solid. After quite wisely removing her hand, she tested again with her eyes open and found that the wall was indeed quite solid once more. In another part of the sanctum, Ulara and Rose unsuccessfully attempted to get into a chest with no visible lock and a robed and blindfolded statue staring down at it. Before leaving the room, Ulara suggested they don the robes they found hanging there, and both she and Rose did so and grabbed robes for their companions as well. Perhaps they would become in handy, and besides, they seemed well made and might fetch some coin. As they turned to leave, they heard a click and a squeak behind them. As they turned back to face this new potential threat, they barely saw the chest snap shut and elected to work on this new puzzle later. Exploring another room, Ulara and Rose found an altar adorned with a fine cloth runner and a very nice-looking silver platter on top of it. Perched on the edge of the altar was the statue of a monkey whose gaze seemed to be right above the platter, though nothing appeared to be there. Their thoughts on this matter were cut short by a scream from one of their companions. They rushed back to help. What had happened? Clara and Bruga, upon looking back toward the entry of the room they were in, saw a demonic gargoyle-like statue begin to become flesh and blood as it emerged from the stonework above the entry. It jumped down and wounded Clara, who conjured a magic missile in response. Rose, in position because of Ulara's heroic actions, took the opportunity to stab the creature from behind as Bruga sprung across the table and hit the beast with a heavy blow from her mace. The demon slashed slashed at her with its claws in response before receiving a mighty killing blow from Ulara's axe. But the timing, for just as that creature fell, the torch Ulara had dropped to the ground flickered its last, and the light in this terrible place went out. Ulara, you had seen this happening, being the bearer of the torch at the end of the last session. What would you like to do as the lights go out?
I guess I have to drop my axe because I assume sparking the flint for the new torch requires both hands.
Okay, so you're gonna grab for a flint, and you have another torch in your
Correct.
inventory, and try to
Yes.
start that. Okay, I would like in this kind of panic moment for you to roll a dexterity check for this in the dark, and yeah. And as Ulara's doing that, the rest of you can be thinking of what you are doing in this moment as well in the darkness.
I think Bruga's main concern is taking care of her wounds, and like she knows Clara is wounded as well. Let's see. I don't. She doesn't need light to heal herself, so that might be her first move. Is to just, I would say, pray to Ord and attempt to heal herself.
Okay. While Ulara is making that check, go ahead and you can roll to cast your heal spell.
Okay.
Ulara?
It's a 2 with a +2.
4. Okay, so it is a difficult thing to accomplish in this dark place, and so you are fumbling around a bit. Bruga is casting a spell. Clara, what are you doing in this moment?
Concerns about moving and potentially walking through the wall of the darkness. I was ducking behind the table, so I'm trying to move around the table closer to the others so as
Okay.
not to accidentally end up inside something.
Okay, so closer to the entry of this room that you
Yes.
had come through. Okay, so you are kind of slowly, like, mental map
Tapping
of, like on the edge
down
of
back and
this
forth.
table that you had ducked behind, trying to make your way to the front. And Rose, you are basically in the doorway of this room near Ulara, and it's dark.
Rose is trying to get her torch out to light it as well.
Okay, you can go ahead and please do the same kind of dex check to see if we can get this torch lit. And as you do that, Bruga, how did the spell casting go?
I got an 11.
Okay.
I think that's like the target, isn't it?
So let me check
I think
your.
like that just makes it.
Okay, and that includes your +1, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. DC 11 on your
Okay.
spellcasting rolls, yeah.
Just squeaks by.
So, I also do want to make sure, not to forget, that everyone should re-up. If you used a luck point last session, everyone should have 1 luck point for this session. Okay, so you have cast heal spell, and what does that give you? Where are you at now?
Oh, I forgot to roll that.
Yeah.
5. So I'm back up to full.
Excellent. That's a pretty good place for the priest
Yeah.
of the party to be. Okay, so all of you are doing these things, and I want to check in with Rose real quick on that dexterity check.
I rolled a 9, and
Okay.
I have. Do you add the dexterity bonus?
You do add your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a +3, so
+3.
yeah, 12.
Okay, 12. It's still difficult to do. And in this moment where all of this is happening, you do also all hear kind of from behind Rose, it would be behind you, and Ulara behind you in that big main room that you had accessed all of these doors. You do hear some scritching. It sounds like coming from the ceiling that was all like gnarled roots, things like that, and not stone wall in this darkness. So you, Rose, will get your torch lit first, but you do hear some squeaks and scritches coming from that room. and you fire up the torch.
They're not those stingy bat things again, are they? She
You
looks up to see what they
yeah.
are. She turns and looks to see what it is.
You turn to see not stingy bats, but what looks to be small uh, smaller rodents, maybe, but longer than a rat might be, and they are crawling down out of their hidey hole places in the roots of that room, and emboldened by the darkness, give a second's pause as the light emerges, but decide to push forward and try to come at you and Ulara, who are more or less still in that doorway area. And so I would like everyone to roll initiative. And I will start with Bruga.
Sorry, I got a 10.
Okay, Clara.
I also got a 10.
Okay, Rose.
There was a note from Molly for a moment.
Oh, I did miss that.
The timer.
The torch timer, yeah, because it did just emerge. So I'm going to give that a full hour right now. Thank you so much, Mo. I'm sorry, Rose.
Do we add any modifiers to our rolls?
So it's the D20 plus dexterity for
Okay.
yeah.
So 4 and 3. 7.
7, okay. And Ulara.
5.
5. Okay. And let me check on these critters. Okay, you guys have had a bad string of the monsters going first every time in this dungeon. And Ulara, you are the closest to them, so you see 4. As they get closer, you see they are very weasel-like. However, they do not appear healthy. There's rotted flesh, it looks like, exposed bone, and they may or may not be living things that are attacking you in this moment. They appear to be some type of weasel, but maybe not the type that you may have encountered in the past. And they are all going to kind of swarm you, Ulara.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna roll a bit here. As the first one comes at you, that is a 17 to hit as it takes a bite at you. So what is your AC number?
13.
13. So that first one bites. The second and third one come in at the same time. And one of them you manage to like sidestep, and the other one does get another bite in on you, just barely catches you. So I'm going to roll damage for those. Quick. Okay. So I also need from you 2 Constitution rolls. So if you roll your D20 and add your Constitution modifier, and tell me the result of both of those, please.
$20 and $10.
Okay, 20 and 10. So 20 and 10 are plenty to push off whatever other effect may be happening here, as well as the 10. So you don't, you succeed both of those rolls. And however, you do take a point of damage from each of them. So you have you are down 2 hit points at the moment, as these things are just swarming around, quickly moving around your feet. And now we are at both Bruga and Clara, who both sit at 10. Whoever would like to go first may do so.
I know Bruger is pretty sure she knows how to deal with them. She also knows that Clara is injured and wants to protect her. So I don't know what Clara's thoughts are.
I was not going to move closer, but I was going to try
Yeah.
and magic missile one of the ones currently chewing on her friend Ulara.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your magic attack.
That's got advantage. Oh, but I got a 20 on it, natural. So
Oh,
I
so
don't think I
Oof.
need to roll a second.
no, you do not, and you do get to double your damage because any spell effect is doubled if you roll a natural 20.
Oh, that means it does 2 points of damage because I rolled.
So the targeting the first of these zombie weasels that attacked your friend Lara, your colorful runic magic that you use shoots out these runes through the air, kind of forming that dart that hits that first zombie weasel and just scatters it back, and it seems to lie motionless with those 2 points of damage. So Bruga, anything in this moment, or
Yeah, Bruga is she's pretty sure that these are undead weasels, just looking at the flesh that appears to be hanging off of them. And so she's gonna try and turn undead. So she has a holy symbol around her neck. It's I thought earlier about like what it would be. I think it would be something sort of like secretive. So like maybe like a special amulet that she's constructed that has like some strange substance in it that she's not like sure what it is. Um it could be something like an old fossil or something that she found and like made into this amulet. So she's gonna grip that and try and force them to flee.
okay, so this is something that you just have as a spell. It doesn't count
Yeah.
against your spells.
Mhm.
You know that from character creation. You do still have to roll
Yeah.
for that. And I'm trying to look up the spell. What's the range on that?
It says near.
Near, you're totally within near.
Okay. Okay, I got 12.
12 does indeed work for your spell casting. So you have successfully cast Turn Undead, and let me
Okay.
just quickly check. Okay, so they need to make a charisma check versus your spell casting check. Okay, so there's 2 of them. They're not that charismatic. Just if anybody was wondering, these zombie weasels. Okay. So one of them succeeds.
Okay.
The one that that missed the bite does succeed. The other one does fail. It does not fail by 10 plus. And if it did, it would be totally destroyed. But it does. You see it start to flee back up the wall. Well, you're tucked in the room. You do see it run away, Olara. You do see it kind of like start to run up the wall back towards those roots. So Gruga has successfully turned
I
undead.
scared away a weasel.
Rose, you are next, and not far from your friend here, who's kind of kicking and dancing a little bit around this situation. And Ulara, you are up next after Rose.
I will try to hit is the weasel still hanging on to Lara's person?
Yeah, it's kind of right on, just there's like a little ankle bite, just
Okay,
latched on there.
she tries to get it away.
Okay.
Um, she attacks.
Okay. Well, what are you using to attack? Are you the weapon that's still out and covered with that
Ye-
dark ichor?
Yes, why not? Still her short sword.
Okay. So torch in one hand, sword in the other.
Ooh, 18. Do I get any pluses
Eight,
with that thing? No, I don't. I don't think.
18 is plenty.
Okay, I need a die 6. And that's 2 points of damage.
And 2 points is enough to kind of get this thing not just off of your friend, but also out of unlife.
Okay.
So a small but startling threat abated. The light back on. You are all left with and rejoined now too. All left with some mysteries, some troubles in the form of taking some damage, as well as some promise of hopefully treasure. And what would, if anybody wants to jump in, that's fine. Otherwise, I can call on people.
Ulara would like to say thank you, everyone.
Thank you for saving us from.
So I would say that Clara, you and Bruga do notice that your friends now are otherwise dressed as well. Yeah, they have
New fashion statement.
quite well-fitting robes for each of them, in fact.
Oh yeah, we'll share what we found. Look, robes.
Cool. I saw a person in a robe walking through the wall. Incidentally, if you shut your eyes and stick your hand through, there's nothing. There is if you have your eyes open. People sewed their eyes shut here too, so super fun.
Yeah.
And there's a creepy room with glowing stuff and chains.
Yeah, we saw a chest that we couldn't get open that we may need one of you spellcasters for, and we saw a silver plate that we need to go back for because I'm sure it's an artifact and important to my research.
Bruga says, "Oh, we're not going anywhere till Clara gets healed up, and she's gonna try and heal her."
Okay, yeah, cast your healing spell.
See if I can roll well enough. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like rolling like 9s and 10s. So I hit 11 again.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, I got a 3.
That gets me up to full.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. Rolling well enough is well enough.
Mediocre. The mediocre priest.
I mean, you didn't give like extra healing that would be wasted. This is efficiency. This isn't mediocre. This is efficiency.
I'm just doing
You're not
enough,
wasting
yeah.
your god's power on too much.
There you go. I'm sure they appreciate it too. Okay, so so you all are still in and around that room with the fallen demonic creature, and it's an unsettling room that you all now see, and Clara's kind of description of this weird close your eyes wall. It's the far wall in this room.
Yeah, so I would actually like to go back over there and try and cast Detect Magic to see if that would give a way of seeing without having the eyes open, as to like go through.
Okay. Yeah, you
But
can.
first, Detect Magic and see if it gives any information before I do
Yeah.
anything dumb.
So
I don't want to
roll.
turn into a statue.
Roll your spell to cast detect magic.
All right, that's 13 plus 3, that is 16. So it does
Mhm.
go through. And if I sense anything while I'm doing it, I will continue to hold it for the 2 rounds to
Okay.
get more of a.
And you may have this in front of you. I remember there's a concentrate 2 rounds type
Yep,
thing. Is
and then
that
it
to
gives,
find the effect?
it is to determine more about it.
Oh, okay. So you do get an
there's
immediate thing. Great.
you
You
get the
do.
immediate if there's magic. The second one is to figure out stuff about its general properties.
Right, right. Last time you rolled critical and just got it all at once. And you do detect some magical properties along this wall. And just kind of in a fairly door-shaped, a bit of a glow. Your runes, your colorful runes, kind of outline where the magic is, and it is indeed kind of where you saw this figure pushing through, where you did your experimentation as well. Roll again to concentrate, if you would like to do so.
So that is a 7, so that's going to be a 10, and I think I just lost Detect Magic.
Okay. So, just again for anyone watching new to the game, spellcasting is quite interesting in this game, quite streamlined, and you can continue to cast any spell you have until you fail the roll to cast it, and then it is lost until you complete some sort of rest in the wizard class. And so Detect Magic is no longer available to Clara. But you do see a magical doorway, or know that it's there.
So what do you guys think? Should we try and go through an invisible, creepy door?
Have we looked at it with our magic mirror?
That is holding it up to show that that's where the rogue figure was pushing through.
Yeah, so Clara holds that up, and Rose, you see what Clara had described. It is a blindfolded and robed, and the robes match what you now have on. That is just like starting to push through this wall.
I don't know. I think if we send someone through, maybe we should like tie a rope around them so we can pull them out if we need to.
I was thinking the same thing. Someone want to go through with the rope tied around them and just check things out?
Would the person also have a blindfold instead of sewing their eyes shut?
I mean,
Close
I
our
was
eyes.
figuring close the eyes or blind. Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
sewing
we're
eyes
not
shut as a.
sewing.
Yeah. We can close our eyes.
I don't
And maybe
mind
come up with
going
like
through if someone else
a
is strong
code.
enough to pull a rope to pull me back, but I would need a blindfold because my startle reflex would probably make my eyes open.
I'm small and I can be pulled back probably quickly unless something happens to the rope while I'm in there.
We should also come up with like a tapping or a pull like plan so that we can communicate,
Like a
pull me back,
signal.
or
Yeah.
something. Because if the oh shit, something's gone wrong plan.
I'll go and I'll tug on the rope as hard as I can once if I'm in trouble and I need you to pull me out. If I want you to join me, I'll pull twice. Like come in. The one tug means no. Okay.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
just also tap on the wall if the rope doesn't work, just because backup plans.
Backup plans are
Backup
pretty
plans.
good plans to have. Okay, so with this plan laid out, Rose, you are holding, or you're tying it around your waist. Okay, Rose ties
Yeah.
this rope around her waist, and hands the other end to you all to perhaps collectively try to bring her back should the signal happen. And yes.
I have a question. Is there two torches, or the one did I fail to light? Have I put it back in my bag? And if this person takes our one torch, do we need a separate torch? And do we have enough torches for the second hour today?
Uh,
That's what I was thinking.
Oh. I still have 2 torches that I haven't used yet. So I could always try and light one again if we need another one.
so
And I
so,
have one too.
with that in mind, I'd say it's no problem just to have both of them. You did eventually get it lit, and yeah. So you have two torches to accomplish this goal. An excellent thought and observation there. Okay, so this is all set. What are all of you doing or looking at?
I guess I'll double check the knot and like check my stance to hold the rope for Rose.
Okay. Eyes open or closed?
Closed.
Mine will be open
Okay.
because
Yeah.
mine don't need to be closed yet.
Cl-
Maybe if you mentioned, yeah, closing the eyes or turning around. Just so Clara will close her eyes. Wait, Bruga saw her go through with eyes open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can, yeah, so keeping the eyes open, but I'm going to be sort of standing facing so that I'm looking both directions so that if any more creepy undead weasels show up, we
Yeah.
know.
I think I'm
okay.
gonna be standing there watching Rose go through the wall like intently.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Rose, perhaps just confident with the information that Clara gave you, perhaps a little trepidation given the information that Clara gave you. You take your first step. Your second step, should put you into this wall, and you don't feel the wall. My question for you is, how far would you like to go? How many steps? Let's just say that.
Maybe 2
Okay.
steps in and look around with the torch, open my eyes after I'm through.
Okay. So you take 2 halfling steps into this space and open your eyes with the torch. And the room you are in seems there are many things that hit you at once. Or not physically hit you, just you kind of take this all in at once as you open your eyes with the torch. Chief among these are 4 large, about a foot or so around, floating eyeballs with dangling tentacle-like structures hanging down from them. And as you enter, they aren't looking at you, but when you do get fully into this room, they do all turn to regard you. So this is what catches most of your attention. However, you do see there are some items in this room, some of which catch your attention as such a practice researcher, as sparkly and perhaps important to that research. They do not seem to be acting in an aggressive manner.
Okay. Excuse me, I thought this was the bathroom. She she tucks the rope once. Pull me back.
Uh,
Faster than I can walk, and she'll
okay.
report what she saw.
On the other end, there is no feeling of any tug. In fact, at a certain point when Rose had entered, you felt it just stop moving, and it hasn't moved since.
Oh no.
Solidified when she went through.
Oh.
Okay. She takes a step back and knocks on the wall once,
And
twice.
and
Like, get in here with me.
your knuckles connect with the wall. As these creatures just are kind of staring at you against the wall. And are you using your hand or using the torch or to?
I'm
Because it is
using
stone.
I guess I'll use the torch to kind of bang on the wall twice. Like, get in
Okay.
here.
Everyone in the other room, can you roll? Give me wisdom rolls, please.
Oh. Oh.
17.
6.
6, 7, and 17. Did I hear 17? Ulara, you hopefully it's not zombie weasels, but you do hear something. Maybe a knock, maybe a tap, maybe zombie weasels potentially through this wall.
I guess I'll give a tug on the rope because it hasn't moved the way I'd expected it to.
It seems to be part of the wall.
Oh.
I inform the room the rope isn't reacting right. It's like tied to the wall now.
Okay. I think then close eyes and try and walk through and hope I don't bump into Rose too much.
You close your eyes and step to go through, and the wall is solid.
Oh no.
That oh
So one person at a time?
Rose, there seems to be no response from your friends. And again, they're not doing anything other than looking at you standing against the wall.
Okay, she will look around the chamber a little more. So they're like 4 floating eyes with things hanging off of them like tentacles.
Mhm.
Aren't you cute? Um,
As you look around the room, some of what you see now are tables. There's tables with some a few leather pouches. There's a small chest. You also see a stick kind of propped up against the corner, and the stick is fairly unremarkable. Literally, it doesn't necessarily look like a crafted staff, really more just a stick. Although the head of it is sculpted, and inset in a ball-like sculpture is an eye with a narrow slit on it, just kind of propped up in the corner. But
Interesting.
you do your treasure senses are tingling in this room.
Okay. She just kind of straightens her robe and walks through like she belongs there.
Hmm.
Excuse me, and goes towards the staff. Looks
Hmm.
like it might belong to somebody who's in charge, and I guess since I'm alone now, I am.
You you get closer. The eyeball that is in it is not a sculpted thing. It does look like it is like a living eye. Would you like to grab it, or
You reach out and grab the staff.
okay? You have the staff.
What do the other eyes do?
They are merely just kind of tracking your presence.
And she stands there for a minute and waits for her party to realize she's been gone a while and there's no tug on the rope.
Although you would, to be fair to this situation, you would have had to undo the rope to make it further in the room.
Does she realize the rope is stuck?
Yeah, when you go to do that, it definitely is just kind of now hanging from the solid wall.
Okay, good. Well, that didn't work at all.
Mhm.
She will walk around the room examining things with the staff in hand and her torch in the other hand and wait for everyone to show up.
uh,
Mm,
very, very good, very good. So you begin. I don't want to put anything on you, but you
research.
at least begin examining some of what might be there, and
Yes.
we will come back to that in a moment. Back in at the other side of this wall, what are you all doing?
Can we, should I ask, is it safe to try knocking? And I can try to knock really uh, assertively, maybe with my axe handle.
Um, are you asking me, or are you asking your friends?
Let me check with the room. Would you, should I knock? Let her know that we can't get through?
Probably a good idea to pass
Yeah,
some
let's try
of the
it.
fact that, yeah.
So you give some hefty, now in this tense situation, strikes to the wall. And Rose, would you roll wisdom for me? I think you're muted, Rose.
9.
9. You're a little distracted, and you don't really hear these initial strikes, and your friends don't seem to be showing up.
Is there anything she can take back through the wall?
There are plenty of things to take here. There's these leather pouches that I mentioned.
Okay.
Would you like to examine those?
She'll look in one. She'll
Yeah,
examine
this is a pouch. Just for some expedience, you do find some items in this room in these pouches. There are a couple of bags that have some gold coins in them. There is a smaller pouch that there's two smaller pouches that each have a few gemstones in them as well. So a couple of diamonds, a few rubies, and an emerald in these pouches.
Okay. Does my
Um,
robe have pockets?
Treasure does take up slots. So I don't know what you have for slots.
See, I've got at least one slot.
Okay, so one slot is, well, you have that staff now. I would say that is
Oh,
a slot, but this is small enough that I feel like you could empty these things into the coin purse that you currently have that is fairly light on coin, as it turns out. So this I think the staff and these pouches that are on this table will fill your slots, but you are able to take all of that. But the other thing that you notice is you didn't catch it at first because it's less interesting potentially than gems and gold, but there is a glass circular. It looks like some sort of lens without a bezel, it's just circular glass lens about maybe 5 or 6 inches in diameter on this table.
hmm. She examined that, put down
Yeah,
the, okay.
yeah. You can pick this up as well, and
She'll pick it up and look through it.
you look through the lens, and you. I mean, it's glass. Where are you looking?
Through the middle of it,
And
around
what?
the room.
Okay. As you kind of look around the room, it's odd. It doesn't magnify nor diminish the size of the image that you have. It does give a little bit of a shimmer wave to everything as you pan the room, and as you get to where you were the wall you had entered through, you see your friends on the other side trying to figure out what to do.
Oh, she waves at them.
You do not, on the other side of this, see Rose waving. You see a stone wall.
What are they doing? Okay. She goes back to the wall
Okay.
because she thinks she can see them, they should be able to see her. And
Um, mhm.
she stands there at the wall saying, "Come in."
There's no response. Um,
She looks at the eye on the staff.
uh-huh.
What will you suggest?
No suggestion seems forthcoming.
Oh, you're
Um,
useless. She taps the wall with the end of the staff like, "Hey,
yep.
guys."
It wraps on a wall.
Do they respond?
They do not.
Great. Stuck with treasure, stuck with a ring.
Um, as you are contemplating what to do, um, you kind of take note that you had these floating eyes, right, had kind of tracked you around this room. But as you turned to potentially exit the room, they turned back away the way they were when you had entered at first.
Oh. So they're not looking at me?
Correct.
Tries the wall again.
Eyes. What are you eyes open or closed?
Eyes closed. She'll pick
The
up the rope and try to
the
follow it.
the as you close your eyes, the rope falls from the wall where it was stuck, and you are able to put your hand out, and the wall is no longer there. And on the other side of the wall, you notice that while the wall looks to be there, the rope drops. And Rose steps through, rejoining you.
I think as soon as she starts coming through, I think as soon as she starts coming through the wall, Bruga's gonna like grab her and like start pulling her the rest of the way.
Grab, pull, hug.
Whoa. She tries not to drop any of her stuff while they're yanking her back through.
Rose, you're alive!
Okay, she immediately shares everything that she saw. Floating eyes, tentacles. The wall turned solid while they were looking at me. And I found the staff, holds it out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling.
Shows it to our magic users. They may know more because, arcane stuff. What do you think? There's an eye. It looks alive.
I missed a detail, Rose. When you closed your eye to push through this wall, which you did so successfully, you were still able to see. The perspective was a little different, was a little off. It was a little off to your side just a bit. And you seem to be seeing through this eye on the head of this stick.
Hey, cool. You can close your eyes and see through this eye. Is that confusing? She wants someone else to try it.
I'll try it. I'll try it out.
She hands it to you.
Yeah, Bruga, you do this, and it is a little weird. It's just a little lower of a perspective than you are used to, and again, kind of off to the side. It's a very strange experience, and as you kind of play around with that, you are able to kind of move it around and see things in this different perspective way, as if you are looking through the eye on the end of this stick.
I'm curious, if I close my eyes, can I put the eye on the staff through the wall, or can I like poke it through?
Yes.
It'll go through?
Yes. Just as Rose had come through as well.
Is it long enough that I'm able to like stick it through the wall and like check out the weird eyeball things that she described, or?
It's kind of it's strange. Rose, you would have experienced this too. Strange, like kind of almost just moving through stonework imagery, right? And then if you push far enough, it's only a couple feet, but if you push it through far enough, you indeed see this room. And there are you see the backside of these floating eyes that Rose had described. They do not appear to be turning around to regard you, regard the staff or the stick, and yeah.
I guess I'll describe like what I'm seeing to everyone else and then pull the staff back.
And as part of for expediency, Rose had said, I describe what I saw, right? As part of that, are you sharing the things you found beyond the staff, Rose?
The artifacts that I found for my research. Yes, I will ask Laura if she can carry them for me. So I can kind of open up my slot in case we ever get back to that silver tray.
So you had a slot free up in handing the staff to Brugga. I don't want to get too hung up on that stuff, but you also have this lens, this round piece of glass.
I share all of that.
Mhm.
I don't know what this does. It looks wavy. You can look through it. I could see you when I look through it. And then there are just these little coins and sparkly. They're probably glass. I can hang on to those if you don't want to be bothered with that.
So if we were to take the lens and hold it, can we see through the wall from this side?
Yeah. So what you see, Clara, in particular, is that you see through exactly the outline that you had discovered in casting your detect magic spell. Like that is where you can't just see through all the walls. You see this kind of illusory, kind of interactive wall, and doorway that matches exactly what you had seen with your detect magic.
So that means we might be able to check the other rooms for any other illusory passageways. Can I borrow the creepy eye staff for a moment too, to just get a look of the creepy eyeball things? And is it possible to try and figure out if I've ever heard about any of them? My reading, or
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, and this is going to be tough. I'll tell you that. It will be difficult, but give me an intelligence roll.
Yeah, that's a 3. I get
Nope,
to
this
add
is
stuff, but it's
weird
not going to be
stuff,
enough.
man. This is so weird.
That only gets me up to a 6. So creepy eyes. This is a lot.
Yeah. I will also remind everyone. I didn't put it in my recap, but there is all of the rooms that you kind of explored, but there is a fifth room that you have not yet looked at. That was the far side of that large kind of water divided chamber.
I don't think we want to send one person in to deal with the creepy eyeball tentacle things on their own.
Well, Rose would have relayed that they did not seem aggressive as well.
Yes.
True, but you never know at what point someone's going to decide the company's gotten a little stale.
Fair enough.
Should we go look at other rooms to see if they have weird doorways?
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe we should try and check out some of the other rooms now. Got the weird eyeball and lens to look at things with.
And the mirror. We've got
And the
multiple
mirror.
different means of looking at things through other eyes, which is kind of concerning since there are so many floating eyes, taken out eyes, and
taken out
and
eyes,
drawings
yes.
with sewn shut eyes.
Ulara sheepishly remembers that the rope may be hard to cross the chasm.
Yeah, it is hanging down halfway through as you kind of all come out to that central chamber, and it's not something that is an arm's grasp, but it's not that far out.
would it be within staff poking distance to
Yeah,
try
I
and
was gonna
like
say.
poke it to get it to swing back and forth?
Yeah, you could. It'll take you a little bit, but you do manage to like through various creative means, using a staff and maybe some other things to make it more of a hook, so it doesn't slide off every time. You are able to retrieve the rope, which is still well set from Ulara's grappling hook last time, and you are able to all cross over without making rolls because there's no like intense pressure.
Rose wants
So
to
you-
go back to the room or show them the room where the silver platter was,
Mm.
and then maybe go to the room with the chest. But she'll go with however the party votes. Everybody for the platter room, say aye.
I
I and
What
I
does the
do
staff
think
say?
though that we should look through all the different eyes that we have before we
Yeah.
go up, because the monkey sounds a little creepy here.
Mm.
Perfect. It sounds like the eyes have it. That was a interesting way to phrase that. And so you just go over to the room to the left, and exactly as Rose and Ulara would have described, there's this altar with a cloth runner on top, a silver platter, a monkey perched just on this edge of this altar, and staring not at the platter proper, but kind of above it.
I would like to turn around and hold the mirror up, facing over the shoulder, to try and see if there was something above the platter at some point.
Um, you do that, and you do not see anything there. In fact, the monkey is not there. It's just, yeah.
Cool, cool. The monkey wasn't there at some point in the past, so hopefully that wasn't a person like the other statue.
Just in case, that cloth that's on the altar,
Mhm.
is there any other cloth in the room that we can cover the monkey with in case it wakes up like the other thing, the big giant thing that woke up, guardian,
Uh,
whatever it was?
I can't remember if you grabbed all of the robes when you left or not, but you certainly, two of you are wearing two of the six robes. So you're in short order able to procure way too much cloth to accomplish what you need. So you're wanting to cover.
Yeah, cover the monkey, just in
Okay.
case it tries to wake up and
The
do
monkey is
something.
covered.
Okay, grab the platter. Okay. I mean, look at it.
Maybe
It
the
is
lens
nice.
and
There's like
stuff
a gold
first.
filigree around the circumference of the platter. I'm sorry, Clara?
Could someone look through the lens at it too, just to see if there's like a door right behind that where something could come through? I'm not to be paranoid, but so far things jump out at us unexpectedly.
I'll use the lens, look all
Mhm.
around, and
Well, tell me where you're looking.
oh, I think maybe like above like the area with the platter.
Okay. Yeah. You pull out the lens and focus it, and there is this kind of interesting shimmer effect. And what you see uh, standing up on the platter is it looks to be like a leather tube of some type.
Other two. Okay, I'll share that.
So maybe someone could shut their eyes and use the staff and grab the tube. I'm trying to figure out all the horrible ways that eyeballs could be involved in a leather
Yeah.
tube.
Oh god.
Yeah, like what? I'll
If someone
What
else
else would
doesn't
you
want to,
put
I'll
in a
borrow
leather
the staff and
tube?
try. I mean, scrolls would be
So,
nice.
telescope?
Just it's
I'm just-
yeah, that could actually be. That seems to fit the site theme.
Ulara
They
asks
really went with
Bruga.
their aesthetic down here.
Ulara wonders if Bruga wants to start preparing one of those torches she's still carrying.
Oh yeah, I'll grab a torch out and I guess I'll ask if anyone else wants to look through the lens while I'm busying myself with a torch.
Yeah, just gonna look for a slot so I can, take that platter.
So if someone, can I borrow the staff, trade the mirror for the staff for a moment? Does that show the leather tube on the platter?
The mirror does not.
Not the mirror, the staff with the eye.
Eyeball staff.
Yeah.
The eye does not reveal that. You close your eyes and look, and you see the room as it is, as your experience has been of this room.
Okay. Ah. Well, if it's okay with everyone, I'm gonna try and reach out and blindly grab where the leather tube had looked through the lens, and if that's not there, then we can let Ruse go for the thing that we can see is there.
Okay. Who's doing what with their eyes?
My eyes are shut.
I'm probably looking down in my backpack, searching for the torch.
Okay.
Ulara's watching Bruga with the torch.
Okay. Rose?
Is everything set up in here, she asked the party, so that if your eyes are sewn shut, you can still function? Maybe we should all close our eyes for a second and see if anything weird happens.
Sounds good to me.
I'll close my eyes and I'm still like digging around in the bottom of the backpack.
So everyone's eyes are shut, and you have covered this monkey statue with a robe, and Clara, you're reaching out.
Trying to swipe where the leather tube would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I realize this is going to go horrifyingly badly. I do have the staff thingy. I was using that,
no.
so.
Are you're like fishing with the staff?
No, I'm holding the staff and I'm fishing with my other arm.
Okay, got it. All right. I just wanted to make sure I had the full picture before this happens. You reach out, and over where the platter is, your hand connects with what feels to be maybe a leather tube. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, grab it and pull it off and go, sorry if this goes bad, guys.
You are, it feels like it's in your hand now. Everyone's eyes are still shut.
And with the staff thingy turning, does it look like it's in the eye hand?
Oh, that's right. You have the stick. Yeah, as you kind of pull this this leather tube from where it was sitting, you see it kind of emerge from, with your arcane background, maybe some other plane of existence that you were unable to see. And it just emerges from that, and you can see that emerge using that stick as you do.
Cool.
And so now you're the only one that kind of sees this from your other hand, basically.
Just quickly turn it to glance at the monkey under the fabric to make certain it's not moving.
The fabric lays dormant on the monkey.
Cool. All right, guys, I think it's safe to open the eyes, I hope. And open my eyes.
You open your eyes, and you have a leather tube at the top. There's like a cap and a little leather tie on it.
Deep breath of relief.
You all hear this deep breath of relief is loud enough for you all to understand that you probably can open your eyes now.
Okay, we open our eyes. I open my eyes.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I'll open my eyes as I pull out the torch.
So. We have a new thing that wasn't there.
And I will reset a 60-minute timer. Do I understand that correct? That you're lighting
yes,
another torch?
I will light the torch.
For another moment, you'll have a couple torches, but you'll be down to one here just almost now. So, but you're all in a still lit space, which seems good. And given what the darkness is like, what the Shadowdark is like, the all closing your eyes at the same time kind of hits you as Bruga strikes this torch, as that was scary. Thankfully, nothing came of it. What would you like to do?
I'm curious to see what's inside the tube.
Yeah, I think we should open the tube.
Okay.
While I open the tube, I'd like to look to see if there's anything else of interest in the room.
You look around. The both the runner and the platter do look to be very nice. The platter in particular is definitely the most valuable thing in this room. It's a fairly sparse room overall, but the runner itself might fetch you a little bit of coin. And you can indeed take that platter if you would like. The platter will take up a slot. Clara, you open the leather tube and look in, and there appears to be some type of cloth in there.
I am suddenly a little concerned because if the monkey was supposed to be keeping an eye to stop anything from getting grabbed from me, that might be a bad sign. But on the other hand, I'm very curious now, so I am going to take the cloth out of the leather tube and.
You take it out and open it up, and it's fairly sizable. You unroll it. It's about maybe 2.5 feet wide, maybe 3 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet tall. Tapestry that depicts an image of what looks like land masses, islands, floating in the sky.
Have I ever heard anything about islands floating in skies at any point?
Intelligence roll, please.
That comes to a 19.
You have heard these as tales, though not within the realm that you exist in. You have heard tales of other realms and other places, and that you've heard many fantastical things about some of these places. And floating islands, floating cities are among the things you've heard about. Yeah.
But there's nothing eyeball themed about this.
No.
Seems outside of the so nice tapestry. I guess look at it through the mirror and the lens just to double check that it is in fact not creepily different.
Yeah, it seems nothing changes with either of those.
Anyone else want to take a look at this, or should we roll it up and grab the things Bruce wanted and check out the other room?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving to the which other room? Let me ask that. There's one you haven't looked at yet, and there's one that Rose described with a chest that Ulara and she had.
I think we should try the chest room with our eyes closed and our eyeball stick and see if we can figure out how to open it.
And the lens and the mirror.
And the lens and the mirror.
Okay, so I lifted the monkey and grabbed the cloth and grabbed the silver platter.
Yeah.
Okay, she's good. Ready to go to the chest room.
So
put the leather tube.
Yeah. You guys you're getting some stuff now. Although as you burn these torches, right? Remember there's two torches. I can't remember whose inventory they had come from, but those can be removed.
Yeah.
As they had burned out. So you're in the chest room exactly as described. But as you walk in, you hear and Rose probably had relayed that to you all, this kind of odd behavior of this chest.
Right. So what happens if we turn around and close our eyes and like put the eyeball stick like over someone's back to look at it?
If everyone turns around, closes their eyes, or at least the stick bearer closes their eyes, but nobody is looking at that.
Bruga will be the stick bearer and the I guess torch and eyeball stick.
and the statue is robed and also blindfolded. Bruga, you all hear, and Bruga, you see through the stick, the chest go click.
So can I see anything inside?
Yeah, if you get close enough, so kind of make your way there. What you see is off theme for this dungeon, but no less disgusting and disturbing. As you see a chest just filled with kind of opalescent whitish writhing large thumb-sized grubs pulsating in this chest.
Rose asked if you see treasure.
Our opalescent grubs treasure.
Probably
the
before they died.
Are they trying to come out at all, or are they just kind of like writhing around?
Yeah, they're just kind of like in there. Yeah.
Can you, if we like hand the mirror off, spot mirror for torch, could Bruga try and look through the staff and the mirror to see?
Oh,
interesting.
At some point, it wasn't a bunch of creepy
try that.
Yeah,
like
so
put the mirror in front of the eyeball.
Okay, so fumbling around a little bit to happen because everyone's eyes are closed. And Bruga is the only one with a little bit of some semblance of sight in the moment.
Yeah.
You you manage to kind of get the angles of both of these things right, and you do look in that chest that is in what you see, empty of these creatures, with a gem just in the bottom of this chest.
I'll say, hey Rose, there might be a gem at the bottom of the chest, but you'll have to dig through a whole lot of grubs to get to it.
Eyes open or shut?
Eyes shut.
Might be worth it.
Is it worth it? Are you doing it?
Let's go and look at this chest up close.
Okay. Well, are you so how are you looking at this chest up
Yeah.
close is what I need to ask.
I could try and trade off the eyeball stick and the mirror to her.
All right, yeah. So you fumble around a bit.
Yeah, like pat around and like
Make the whole thing.
And then we're all wandering around with our eyes closed still. Let's get close enough to the chest to open it if we could, and then shut our eyes so that we're not like bumping into each
Oh.
other.
Yeah, if
And
we open our eyes, does it just like shut right away?
yeah, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, as soon as somebody opens their eyes to see it, the chest snaps shut.
Okay.
Haha.
Before
Doesn't
we
want to
all
be
shut our
seen.
eyes again, maybe we should like look at the statue through stuff too. I mean, it doesn't look like it even. Turn around and check above the door going out to make certain there's no creepy gargoyle statues.
You turn around and look, and it is devoid of gargoyle statues.
And dead weasels.
So far, there are no more undead weasels that have. One of them fled the scene, being turned by your priest.
So if we look through the lens, are there any other like door shapes or any other weird things?
Looking through the lens, you do see not a magic door, but you do see the outline of a hidden door immediately behind the chest.
Hey, Rose, this seems like the sort of thing you'd come across in your research. I hope. If not, it might be an interesting new path of research.
So, Rose, you kind of take a look through the lens as well and see, yes, there's a hidden door back there. You've come across this kind of thing before.
Let's go check that out.
Looking around, now that you have been clued into its presence, Rose, your experience with this type of thing in fairly short order, you are able to find a stone in the stonework alongside of this outline that you're able to press in and open the unlock the mechanism to the door. Was untrapped and all of the things, and now open to a bit of a hallway stair set going down.
Has anybody used the mirror in this room to see the other time?
Just on the chest.
Yes, we should probably look around more than just at the creepy grub chest.
There's using the mirror, you don't find too much more interesting. You do kind of get that statue now more like lifelike. and in this instance, not blindfolded. Though you see now the robe is not stone, right? But matches those that Ulara and Rose have on. But somebody had apparently, because the blindfold itself wasn't stone, either blindfolded this statue.
So it was still a statue, not like the
No, it was
Lady
very
Pressure.
much not a statue in the mirror.
Okay, so that was a person. I really don't like the fact that a lot of people down here at Church of Stone.
Does it still feel like a statue if we touch it with our eyes closed?
Hmm.
Yes.
Sorry, thought we could help you, but okay. Rock on.
So your current paths, the state of things right now. Creepy room, green glow. We've ignored that. There is a room you have not looked in yet, and there is a staircase descending into darkness.
How many more torches do we have?
Mine are gone.
I have one more.
I have one more. I don't know that going down is the best idea. Maybe we should check and see if the other levers do anything about like opening the door
Hmm.
out, or that final room, give it a look, see.
Well, there's stairs. We could just kind of run down halfway and see what we can see. Who wants to bravely do that?
Oh, Clara, you were muted if you said something.
I mean, if Rose wants to run halfway down the stairs and then come back and tell us.
You guys want to rope me again?
Mm.
That
Want to
might
take the
kill
eyeball
whole
stick?
We take the eyeball stick.
Or the mirror? I don't know. Or the lens, or all three, and like look at them.
I don't think I could
Was
juggle
the
all
fifth
three.
door already open? Just to check? Or was
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
So maybe we could just take a quick peek there and then come back and run downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. Stay behind me though. And then get out of my way if we have to run.
So which is happening first? I just.
Someone with a torch needs to follow Rose down the stairs about halfway and look around, see what we can see.
Okay.
Oh, I've got the torch, so I'll follow her.
Okay. Yeah, you the stairs as you start to move down, you can see it's not all that far to get to kind of what looks to be a landing point. And it looks as though whether you can't tell yet, but there's either a landing with more stairs that move to your right, or it's just that's the landing and the terminus of these stairs. Difficult to tell as you start down, but nothing jumps out at you as you move down this stone staircase.
Okay, there looks like there are more stairs, so can we all gather on the landing and then go a little farther?
You push down there and see that it is there are no more stairs. There is a room, a large room to your right, and just at the outskirts of the torchlight, the far part of this room. What you see without kind of moving in, just be kind of standing on that landing, right? You see, it looks like maybe rubble or stone debris of some type. Yeah, you would have to enter the room to see more.
I think Bruga would be curious about the rubble. Like, she'd be wondering if there was like a hole in a wall somewhere, like something had been dug out.
Hmm. Would you like to move in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. You move into the room a little more, and with that thought in mind, right, of what Bruga is looking for, you look around and you see about a 5-foot round hole in the ceiling, and a faint green glow,
Oh.
and
Oh.
and immediately under it is where all of this rubble is. And as you kind of step in and look a little more closely, it appears to be broken pieces of statues.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
and now, as that catches your attention, you see a hand, you see a leg, you see the full upper torso of figures, various figures, and you start to see more and more of these things that have broken off underneath this hole.
Oh. I'll just describe. Sorry, I'll describe what I see to
Mm-hmm.
Rose, and I think this is really gonna disturb me, and I'm gonna say a quick prayer to Ord for all of the bodies.
Yeah, it's that's a great reaction given what you are witnessing here, and that does dominate your attention. But you do also see a door to your right as well.
Do you want me to check the door?
It's up to you. I'll stick close to you if you want to check it out. I wonder if we should tell the others too, see if they want to come down.
Yeah, we shouldn't split up too far. And are those statues or former people?
I mean, I think the statues are former people.
Okay, I'll check the door. You get the others.
Okay, I'll run up the stairs and tell them what we found. And
As you're getting the others, Rose, what are you checking the door for?
Oops, I guess I'm just feeling it since the torture left.
oh no!
Oh,
Oop.
you would notice that happening. You would, Rose, you would notice that happening. Should you decide to not want that to happen.
Okay, okay, I'm checking the door to see if it's locked.
Okay. Yeah, you first give it a little push. It doesn't budge. You look around and you do see that it is indeed there's a locking mechanism holding this door shut.
Okay. She goes to work on the lock.
Okay. So how are you alerting the others to know you're down here doing things? Are you shouting up to them? Are you?
Oh, me? Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Because it's
think,
not like the torch is still down here, so
yeah. I think I would run back up, like over to the the landing area,
mhm.
because it didn't seem like it was down too far, and try like shouting up that we found like another door. Um,
So you guys are aware uh,
yeah.
as well.
Just heading down to join them since
Okay. So Rose, working on this lock. Um, this is a pretty advanced thing, it seems. Um, Additionally, you note that it has been kind of uh, after the fact, I would say is a good way to describe it. Um, Kind of barred shut with metal strapping across the top and bottom to hold the door shut. As the lock itself is intricate, this is fairly crude, kind of bolted, stuck into the stone wall and into the door to prevent it from swinging out. So that's another, you're focused on the lock, but that's another thing that you may have to deal with. So as you are working on this lock, can I get, let's see, you have class talent thievery, which gives you advantages on these type of checks. So could I get a dexterity check from you with advantage? Oh, I'm sorry, you're muted.
One is 14 and one is 3. I'll take the 14.
14. This lock is not coming free. You knew going in that this was tricky business, and at the moment it seems to be eluding you.
Okay. She steps back and looks at it and looks at the crude containments to keep the door from opening and thinks perhaps there's something in there that shouldn't be let loose. So she backs away and goes back to the stairs and says, there's some green glowing stuff above that you saw before and didn't like. And there's a door that looks crudely barred shut that maybe we shouldn't open. So I think I've seen all I want to see here.
Sounds valid.
As you say that, could I have everyone roll a wisdom check, please?
No.
4.
12.
I got my first 20, I think, of the whole sessions.
A natural 20?
An actual 20.
Nice, nice. And Olara?
Also a natural 20.
Oh! All right.
Oh, these are purple. They're really cool. I like them. Anyway.
Rose, you've been kind of clued into this door and now are very much it's on your mind, like what is happening here. Ulara, you heard Rose talk about like the strapping, so you're like, oh, could I pry those off maybe? And both of you managed to hear that there is something moving around back in behind that door.
And tell the party, something's inside.
And we don't know if we should rescue it or run. Should we go ahead and see just in case it's something that needs help?
Can we look through the things to see what might have been going on with the door in the past
Good
before
idea.
we
Good day. I'm glad someone's smart enough to think of that.
It's like we have the lens
not to be
and the mirror
paranoid.
and the
I feel
stick.
paranoid. We've got like multiple methods we could try before we unnecessarily unleash what could be the thing turning people to stone.
You with the lens, you don't see really anything of note. The mirror reveals that door that in a state where it is not, those metal strappings are not holding it shut. But you do not see anything indicating what might be beyond it.
Are the statues still there and broken, or were they people, or were they in the process of being statuified?
You see both. You just see rubble there. Yeah. You see different rubble, the same type of rubble, beings, broken pieces of statue, but they do appear to be statue in nature as their broken forms are littered about the floor.
Do they look as if they were dropped from the top and they're broken from that?
That seems reasonable.
And we've looked with the eye stick.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what if we close our eyes and try and stick the eyeball through the door?
The stick bonks on the door. Yeah. This is a door. Yeah.
I tried the lock. It's a tough lock. They have it locked from their side.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try doing like shaving a haircut 2 bits, knock on the door, and see if we get like a response, or just a pounding. But I think also it looks like there's a reason they have it shut. I don't know.
Who's gonna do the knocking?
I think that's hilarious.
Ulara steps up, gives it a few raps with her axe, and the sounds that you heard stop for a second, and then you hear movement. And listening closely at the door, you hear it sounds a little bit like nobody's calling out for help. It sounds more like scratching at the door, maybe a little bit of a hissing type of sound.
What if they're bigger things than undead weasels?
So it doesn't sound like there's a person, right?
Mm,
Before we go back and check the other door.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we go check that other room we haven't looked at yet.
Okay. You go back up the stairs, back through the chest room, and stand at the doorway of the 5th room. And who is taking the lead on this? And Ulara takes a torch and pushes it into the room. And this room is shaped differently. All of the other rooms were like symmetrical across from each other, rectangular in nature, same size. This room has about a near distance across, so you're able to catch things with a torchlight. It is a circular, and in the middle of the room is a large round wooden table with some type of apparatus device in the center. Along the walls of what you see, again, just kind of first glance, you just kind of peeking in, you do see on the far side what look to be 2 frames, like metallic silver frames on the wall. Nothing in them. And that's kind of your at a glance look at this room. Moving in. Yes. Okay, moving in. You see there are more frames around the room. There are 6 in total. The 2 that you saw, there are 2 either side of the center of the room, and then 2 at the back wall where you walk in, all equidistant from each other around the room. What would you all? What are you all interested in here?
Probably scan with the lens and the mirror and the eyeball stick.
Look around with our stuff.
Okay. Yeah. The mirror. I'll need to know. I'll need to know who's doing it and where you're looking. I know this keeps coming up. It's slightly annoying, but
I can do it, and I guess starting looking at the weird apparatus on the table, and then
okay.
the
Yeah.
flames.
Before you even use the mirror, you note that this is a round or circular contraption, um, circular base, smaller kind of circular second base almost on top of that, with a series of kind of looks like loops going in various directions, and fragments from broken glass, some of which shards of which are in the center apparatus piece.
Does it look like balloons could fit in there?
It does look like that. And as you put the mirror on it, you see it looks like a fully formed lens was in there at one point in time. Who has that right now?
The lens?
Yeah. I mean, just who wants it right now?
Yeah.
Let me ask that.
I know I don't
have
have
it
a
all.
hand for it if I have the torch and my axe.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah. I think Brugger probably still has the eyeball stick and a torch.
Okay. Rose, are
I'll
you
get
looking
the
around
lens.
with the lens?
Yes,
You see, well, where would you like to look with the lens? Let me ask that.
at the round thing,
Uh,
area
okay.
above it.
That doesn't appear any different to you. The apparatus does not appear any different to you as you look through that lens at it.
Okay, I want to look at the steel frames on the left side.
Okay, these empty frames, they're a few feet or so high, a couple feet wide, and as you pan the lens around, you see different scenes. It looks like there are paintings or something in these frames. One of them is a vast sunny field. Another is the mountain, a mountaintop somewhere. Another is an island in an ocean. You see one that is an image of a city on floating islands. And that one you recognize, having seen that in a tapestry that I believe Clara has in her possession. You see a number of other scenes of different places.
She tells them what she sees through the lens.
Might be a portal machine, or
Yeah.
just a visual of different planes thing. And you
Can
could
she go
always
and touch
try to
one of them?
Uh,
Examine it close?
yeah, you reach out and it's just stone wall behind this frame, even when you are looking through that lens.
Okay. After hearing this, Brugger's going to try and close her eyes and put the eyeball stick through the floating city one.
It bonks against the wall.
Okay.
So you're
Dang
like
it.
it's really like your vision.
I was thinking I could
like...
see another world.
So,
I is glad it
what
can't
would
feel anything anymore.
what would happen if we like pushed one of the bits of the apparatus? Would it like change the visual in the pictures?
You are able, you start interacting with it, you are able to turn this apparatus and it looks like the lens rotates with it, or not the lens, there's no lens in there right now, but the bezel.
Where the ones
Mhm.
So we put the
put
lens
that
that we
lens
have
in
in
there.
there
Yeah.
Can we? I
Yeah.
feel like
I
it's
think we
probably a
should.
terrible choice, but I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what the terrible device does.
You insert the lens into the bezel, and
Using
it
mirror to
is
figure out how best
cle-
to.
cleaning away the shards. Yeah, and you are able to work that in, and it is set into this apparatus.
Now turn the apparatus to look at any one of the frames and see if it makes a difference.
Tell me which scene you would like to point it at, please.
The tapestry scene.
The scene with the floating islands with the city.
Sure.
Okay. You do so. And
Hold tight to the apparatus.
I'm sorry.
Holding tight to the apparatus just in case we suddenly have a portal open to Nick City.
As you lock it in place, there is a little bit of a hum. The lens being kind of aligned with that particular frame.
We could chuck something through it, see if it goes through from a distance.
Through what are you throwing at the wall, the frame?
At the just like take out a silver piece and sort of toss it where the frame is showing the city so that we can see if it's
so taking note of that, this device begins to hum a little bit, and as you turn your attention to the frame, you do see just faintly that same image appear in the stone, and you toss a silver coin, and it does like bounce off of the stonework.
Silver?
cool.
Okay.
And you retrieve the
It's
silver
the
coin, I'm
smallest
sure.
it has.
Where's everyone looking at this moment?
Oh no.
Or where would you like to look? I'll start with Bruga.
I think Bruga would be looking at the frame, like looking where the silver hits
Okay.
it to see if it would go through.
Lara.
I guess I could offer to close my eyes if they want to try it again when we all have our eyes closed.
Okay. Rose.
She's retrieving the silver coin.
Very good. Clara.
Unfortunately, I think I'm also looking at the same frame as everyone else.
Okay.
Since we're not paying attention.
Yeah. So nothing's really happening beyond, like, clearly something has happened.
If we all shut our eyes and use the stick or something.
You shut your eyes, and I believe Bruga has the stick. And still no change that Bruga is able to see.
Well, something happened. If we can't see it, then we can't feel it. Is the room we're in the same place? Can we peek out the door and see if anything's changed outside the door?
As you look outside the door, the torchlight is not needed because you are in complete daylight. On a hill peeking out of a cave, with winds howling around you and new adventures awaiting your entire party as you have transported to a new plane of existence.
What?
A sparkling city awaits down the path before you.
I'm so glad
So
we
welcome
got
to a
our
new adventure for your
Oh.
characters sometime in the future. And thank you
Yes, we
for
didn't get turned into
participating.
statues.
And not and thank you for not being turned into statues
Yes.
or avoiding other like being part of the wall type of fates. And congratulations on making it out of this puzzle dungeon.
This definitely seems like a much better place than the creepy cave we walked into.
It is gorgeous here. So what I want to do, because we did kind of keep going here, and we ended just short of 3 o'clock. I do want to give everyone a short break. Molly, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes, something like that. 10-minute break.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
that
Okay.
sounds good. Everybody can take care of anything they need to, fill your belly, get a drink, et cetera, et cetera. And we will be back here for a Q&A session. So thank you all so much.